and gentlemen, we are live in the air right now. Anyways, I have a very special guest today, a very good friend of mine, and Tyler Brooks.
Hello, very nice to meet you all, or should I say very nice to be of your acquaintance or whatever. Thank you for having me. It's very nice to be here. I'll just let you take it off. Say what you're going to say.
Go ahead. Well, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you do for a living and what kind of work you're into?
Sure thing. So my name's Tyler Brooks. I currently work at a Tim Hortons, but I am planning on going to college for radio technology. So I thought that it would be a perfect opportunity to come out onto a podcast like this to kind of get more experience for my future.
That sounds good. That sounds very interesting. Well, I think you got a good future ahead of you. That's for sure.
Hopefully so.
Well, you got the personality and you got the skills. Why not? Well, thank you for being here today. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, our today's topic is we like to talk about music, and I know a lot of people love this topic about music. Here's the thing, and also while we're talking about music, we also like to compare it to music, what it was back then, back in the 80s, the 90s, during the peak of its time, and also we like to talk about what music has turned into today. And also, I also like to compare it to music, North American music, to Armenian music, especially the kind of music that I get into most of the time. And anyways, I'll translate whatever I'm saying in Armenian too, so my Armenian fans out there from around the world. Բարև ձեզ սիրելիներս, ուրախ եմ ձեզ տալու այսօրվա հյուրս այսօր Tyler Brooks-ն է, լավ տղա է ինքը եւ ինքը բան աբակա ունի դպրոց երթալու radio broadcasting-ի մեջ։ Այսօր մենք պիտի խոսենք երաժշտության մասին։ Կանադական ամերիկյան երաժշտության մասին եւ հայկական երաժշտությունը եւ երկուքը պիտի իրար compare with the Anyways, Tyler, so let's talk about the topic we said we were going to. What is your take? What got you in love with the music to begin with?
Well, my father was a very big fan of rock, still is. Back when he was a little older than I currently am, so early 20s, he was in a band of his own where he played bass with his friends.
Nice.
Last time I checked, I think they were more of a cover band. They did a lot of cover songs. So growing up with, well, obviously him, I was into a lot of the older type of rocks. So in my case, older would be like AC/DC, Nirvana, all them. I also have an older sister who is on social media. She posts a lot of songs,
Nice.
covers. I believe she posts a few original songs she makes as well. So I've kind of just really been into music my whole life.
Oh, so have I, exactly. Well, it's my Pisces nature too. I'm a March born too, so I'm a very artistic guy. Not only I'm very artistic, but I'm also into sports too, as you can see. I got many accomplishments in hockey and all that, and plus I played for the Armenian national team too for hockey. Well, yeah, I kind of feel you on that one. I was also into music, mostly 80s, heavy metal, rock music I always got into. AC/DC too is one of my favorite bands too. Well, what's your favorite song from AC/DC?
AC/DC has to be Thunderstruck because it's the first song I learned how to play on guitar.
Nice.
So it's, yeah, that kind of song has always kind of been with me.
Oh, so you play guitar too, eh?
I do. As of late, it's been more of, I've just been kind of messing around with chords. But when I first started learning guitar about 5 years ago, it was a lot of AC/DC and Metallica and etc. because that's what my father and my older brother both played.
Nice, yeah. Well, I wish you would have brought your guitar. Well, you would play, I would sing. Why not, right? That'd be a good combination. See, I didn't know you were into playing an instrument. That's awesome. Maybe next show we might be able to do that next time we see each other.
Maybe so.
Bring it over,
Well, you're very into music as well. I asked you this earlier before we started. I am still kind of curious on what kind of music you produce.
Okay, I produce a little bit of everything. I'm not just a Armenian singer. I'm actually an international singer. But when I first started singing, like live and parties and this that, I started with '80s rock music and '90s pop music. I did.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so I did a little bit of everything till slowly one day I ended up living in Armenia for 2.5 years. Not only I played on the national team over there, played hockey. I was their top goal scorer and this and that, right? And not only I won the MVP award 2 years in a row, and I became most dedicated player award I got. What happened was some like agents, they walked up to me, they were like, hey, you have a great voice. They heard me sing in a bar over there, and they saw me play hockey over there. I was all over live television, this that. They said to me, we never had a sportsman singer before in Armenia, a small country of 3 million people. Would you like to do that? I go, yeah, I'm actually a musician, I'm a singer. I go, that'd be great, why not?
It's gotta be nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Not really. I was actually flattered. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I started recording albums over there, and I really got into Armenian music because of that. But I told them, look, I don't want to get into this modern stuff, which is like rap in Armenian or rock and roll in Armenian. No, I said either keep it Armenian pop, traditional, or keep it folk music, or patriotic music. I go things that I'm used to in my nature. Not only that I'm used to that, I like to keep things original. That's why. See, and when it comes to North American music too, I like to keep things original too. Nowadays, you get a lot of auto tunes, you get a lot of people synthesizing their voice. A lot of the beats you hear on this new music, it's a lot of and the rap today and compared to what it was back then, right? Too much, like it's all about gang banging or bashing and all about drugs, money, and women
Gangbanging,
and
but most of
hoes,
these kids have never seen a real gun in their life.
Exactly.
There's also a lot of this stuff called mumble rapping. It's basically where they rap, but every now and then it's a word that rhymes with the last word you're actually able to understand.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of they sound idiotic, but for some reason, people buy it. People will buy these albums and buy tickets to these people's concerts just so they can kind of sit there and not understand a single thing.
Well, why? I just don't understand. This is where it troubles me a lot.
See, I've always been the type of person, I've never really cared about lyrics, I've always cared about like a beat. So if a song has a nice beat or a nice rhythm to it, I will listen to it. I'll add it to my playlist.
Sure.
I'll listen to it on days on end if I want to.
Yeah, fair enough.
But once you actually take a minute and look at these lyrics and kind of realize what they're talking about and realize, wow, I did not understand a single thing these people just
a lot of mumble jumble kind of thing, yeah.
Starts to make you really reevaluate everything in music. And it's not even just rap. It's pop and rock
or rock too, and some punk rock they try to get into. Who knows? And the problem is, it's not just in North America. All over the world, they're doing the same thing. In many cultures, whether it's Western Europe, Eastern Europe, even K-pop down in Asia, even in a little country like Armenia too, they're pretty much all copying each other. Even Eurovision. That's why there's no quality anymore into the music. I find.
What I've also realized as well when it comes to a lot of this recent music is that it's basically taking the chords and chord progression from other songs, kind of copying those songs. I remember I was on social media the other day and there was a bunch of these song comparisons where the songs had the same exact beat. The only thing that was different in them was the singer and the lyrics.
Really?
So it seems to be that people, or at least a lot of music artists today, are unable to make their own original stuff. All they can do is, like this song from Taylor Swift, mine, just some kind of new lyrics on it now.
New lyrics on it, and change the beats to it, and add a bit techno to it or something, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
See, and that's another thing too I like to talk about, where I don't mind if people cover songs, and I don't mind if they change it up a little bit. Here's what I think, okay? Everybody's they find they're entitled, or they find what's theirs, nobody else can play or sing. See, this is what I think on the contrary. If a song is original and it belongs to somebody, that song is theirs. Hundreds of people could sing it. Everybody knows who the original singer is. So this is what I find as a musician for all these years, you know. I find, okay, if you're gonna play a song or sing that song, either you gotta do it with the same rhythm, or if you're gonna add different keys to it or change the tone of the music a little bit, don't do drastic changes. Don't go to the extreme. Don't literally change the whole entire way of the music, you know. Like some covers, I've seen people do it. It's really good. It sounds good. Some covers, it's just, no. Totally, they destroy it. Do you know what I mean?
I actually listened to a song recently. It was Pretender by, I think, Foo Fighters.
Okay.
I believe. Then again, I'm early 2000s, so I don't know anything about that. It was basically a mix of Pretenders, where they basically rapped over it, and then they took the main, like, they basically took the chorus from the original song and put that into it, thinking that they were somewhat original. Yeah. It made absolutely no sense. Like, why do you think people would pay to see or listen to your stuff when they can just go to the original song that was released in the 1970s and they can just listen to that?
Exactly. And if somebody's going to do a cover, see, I'll give one good example here. From the original song from Modern Talking, Brother Louie, I'm going to play the original, then I'm going to show you a cover that was done, but it was a good cover. And I'm going to show you a couple more maybe, and we can compare the two, right? Okay. See, like I said, I don't mind a little bit change, but people should not butcher it. They shouldn't overdo things when it's not necessary. They need to keep the rhythm as a flow. Sure, they can upbeat it a little bit, you know. See, basically what I'm trying to say is, and I kind of get what you're trying to say too, if we were to have something... See, this is the original song from Modern Talking, Brother Louie. Good beat, eh?
Nice
I believe this is from the 70s or something. Do you know the exact year from the song?
Not at all, no.
I believe it's 70s.
I mean, at first it doesn't seem like a 70s song. It seems more like a 90s type thing, but as you get into the lyrics more, it does sound like a 80s, 70s.
Yeah, exactly. Because you hear the story of the song, right?
I feel like this is something that like my parents would have grown up with.
Same with my parents. I like it. It's kind of like the catchy, you know? See, anytime there's some parties where they do like retro 70s or 80s, I love them. So I like to see all these old bands to it. Which is lyrics, and all of a sudden they go, listen, I got the music. Yeah!
This is the music I listened to back in my day.
Now here's when he did a remix in 1998. New version. But this is a good remix. See, this is what I mean with good remix.
See, the funny thing is, I didn't recognize the first song, but I recognized the second song instantly because that is a song that I have on my Spotify playlist that I play. So, I mean, then again, when it comes to like remakes and songs, the songs that are like good, sometimes they overshadow the original. Like, I don't know if you know about Johnny Cash and his song Hurt.
Yes.
I think that's, So he didn't make the song. He made a cover.
Okay.
And he basically, his cover of the song got so popular that people kind of connected the two. So people thought he was the one who made it. So he ended up buying out the original people.
Really?
Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not entirely sure if it was the right song I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure it was Hurt. Not so sure anymore as I'm starting to talk. But it was one of his songs. He basically bought out the original artist of the song and just kind of took it completely over. So it seems like a lot of songs do that nowadays, where they kind of just take over the original song without like any credit towards the original artist.
Well, I believe exactly, which is kind of not fair, I think, but I believe it's every artist's obligation. Sure, if they want to take over a song, or they have an agreement or an arrangement, or if they sold them the song, the rights and whatever, that's fine. But as an artist, you need to do the best you can where it's still going to sound original, even to this day. Even though the beats are a little bit different, basically we don't need, okay, let's say this original song sounds like a nice pop music or rock music, right? And then you can add a little bit beats to it, but you gotta try to almost sound similar. But if you get into, let's say, this time you put some rap in it and you put some Jamaican reggae in it, some Latino in it, this time you ruin the whole damn thing, I think.
What's the point of taking from the original song if you're just going to completely butcher it? I don't understand.
Exactly my point. See, and I'm glad you think that. Even though we're a few years apart, I'm born in '87 and you...
05.
There you go, 2005. And see, you understand real music. That's what I like about you right there. And the good thing about our technology today, see, today just on the phone, right? Especially young people like yourself, right? They can find any music they want from the oldies or till this day. See, they can go way back and they can find good stuff. But the thing is, a lot of the young generation today, they choose not to find good music. They just, whatever media tells them, that's what they go with, you know?
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, whether it's Nicki Minaj or whoever, right? Like, I don't even know most of these new artists anymore.
Honestly, most of the newer, like, pop and rap artists nowadays, I feel like they're only popular because they're either A, attractive, or B, it's funny to make fun of them. Like Kanye.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, I don't listen to the dude's music, but I know him enough where I can make fun of him to my buddies every night.
Exactly, and here's the thing. Coming from another artist, I believe music should be taken seriously, not as a joke. Today, everybody's making a joke throughout the whole world when it comes to music.
There seems to be very few people that are music artists that are popular, which are like Nicki Minaj and all like up there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's very few of them that are actually produce good music.
Yeah.
Because last time I heard anything about Nicki Minaj, she was shaking her ass on YouTube for that Anaconda stuff. Nobody knew what that was about. Trust me, I'm sitting there like 12 years old. I'm sitting like, I don't even understand this.
That's the reason why they watch her, probably. Probably because she's got a nice ass or something, and she's got a good body, and she's just shaking it around. But she probably lip sings or cannot sing for shit, and that's probably what's attracting their attention. And the good artists, like today, like you said, 90% of them, they're not producing good music, or they're butchering a lot of music, right? But only 10% of them who are doing really good, they're suffering. A lot of the good talent, the good musicians, they are suffering to this day.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I feel like the music industry's just been taken over. It's gotten to the point, this isn't even music anymore. This is just random bullshit. You pull it out of your closet and decide, here, $1 million. Like,
see, I grew up in the 90s, or even in the early 2000s, right? All the way to the late 2000s. Music that time, see, we didn't have all sorts of technology. See, some ways technology's okay, but back then it was more like there was cable television and you only had 30 or 40 channels. Not much like today. Not too many live streams, right? Back then, you couldn't put your music on television if you weren't that good. like you had to have good product, you had to have good quality before you went on television. You couldn't make the countdown top 20 or whatever. I don't know if
Nowadays,
you're
if we wanted to, we can spend $10 and literally have a song out in 2 minutes on Spotify if we wanted to.
exactly.
Anybody can post. It's not about if you're good at making this stuff. It's not about signing record labels anymore
No,
or
it's not.
signing albums or producing CDs or anything.
Or managers or all that
And
stuff.
even
right?
though I grew up like late 2000s, early 2010s, so that was my childhood when like I used to listen to Kids Bop all the time type thing with like a crappy little CD player that my parents got me. So like compared to that, it's honestly really weird
Yeah.
being able to I could punch in my password and boom, release a song. Meanwhile, back when I was younger and stuff, it took people weeks, maybe months to release something because they had to have the right connections. They had to have the right people by their side in order to release this, in order for
Absolutely.
it to get popular.
Absolutely. I completely understand. I get it. And here's another thing. I wanted to show the cover of this song. Well, I think they did a good job to it. A little bit faster beats, right? The rhythm sounds similar though. You still got that old rhythm in the background.
Yeah.
If somebody's gonna do change, they gotta do good change like this, right? See even the rapper in the beginning, you know, you only hear a little part. It's not like they take over the whole song, right?
They kind of took a little snippet and made it their own. They didn't like take the entire thing and then try and overlap it, you know?
And it's the same singer too from Modern Talking. They did a new version of it. They still did a great job at this. See, this is the kind of covers I like. I don't like it when it's overdone. See, music is supposed to be simple. Simple ingredients. That's all it takes. Just have a sweet spot to it, that's all. Then I'll show you another from oldies and something new. Okay, here's another good one. I'll do one more comparison and then we'll keep going with what we're talking about.
Sure thing.
This is from Rod Stewart, Do You Think I'm Sexy? Well, when I grew up in the 90s, I heard the new version. And one day I'm riding in the car with my dad. I was only 12 or 13. He's taking me to soccer practice or taking me to hockey. And we didn't have that many CDs that time. It was mostly cassettes or whatever. But I used to listen to it on the radio most of the time. Kiss 98.5 or whatever that was. This song would play every half hour or whatever. That time, everybody listened to radio, you know, there was always something good on the radio. Like,
That's true, and that's why it kind of sucks nowadays, because even my family members have said, because I want to go into radio or something along those lines, you know, use my voice and kind of talk and etc. So radio is a dying industry.
it is.
It really sucks because I grew up where I'd be in my dad's car, we'd be listening to 97 hits FM.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's kind of just gone downhill.
And do you know why? Do you know exactly why it became a dying thing?
Because all the music has gone straight to our phones.
That's part of the reason, but do you know the main reason?
No, why?
Okay, I believe, this is my opinion, I could be wrong, but I believe since they started censoring too many things, or the radio host of things, see back in the 90s, if you listen to radio, they said a lot of corny shit, right? They said a lot of funny stuff and they made people laugh.
Stuff nowadays you would not.
Now they're censoring everybody. See, a good thing about YouTube, so you could say a lot of things, right? And you can get away with,
You can get
especially
an
with
F-bomb, you can get a
podcasts
you know, all
and
that stuff.
or other sources, but anything that's live on television or anything live on the radio, they're censoring a lot of things. And people always have to be careful and they always have to be politically correct with all this crap, right? That's what's ruining it. That's why it's becoming a dying breed, right?
Yeah, I mean, I understand because a lot of the stuff that, especially, I heard that Canadian radio stations have to play like 10%, at least 10% of it has to be from Canadian artists,
Yeah.
which is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Because then again, the only Canadian artist I can name off the bat is fucking Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
again, that dude is off having his own life at the moment.
Exactly. See, I never really liked listening to Justin Bieber. He wasn't, you know how he became popular, right? One day he went on YouTube. I believe he grabbed the guitar and just started singing, and that time we didn't have all this. This was years ago. We didn't have all these fancy cameras, fancy lighting, this and that. He just went off and started playing and started singing, and boom, he hit millions of guys, and he started getting popular that way.
I would applaud him for that because there's not many people that nowadays that can just do that, where they can go randomly start posting something and next thing you know they're famous. A lot of people nowadays, whether their music is good or it's crap or it's in between, they have to find somebody or find some app that's willing to put their stuff on there. Because it's not like they can go to a record label and be like, hey, this is my song. Merry Christmas, happy fucking New Year.
Yeah, well, when he started that way, yeah, he did do good, but here's what happens. When you become too popular for your own good, and you got management from Hollywood and different places who want to sponsor you and this time you gotta go by them, Thing is, that's what happens. A lot of artists, they sell their souls to media. So what happens is, that is why their music don't sound original anymore. And most of the time, it's not up to the artists what they're playing or they're singing. They're being told what to do. It's like this. They get paid. This is your cut. This is your money. You're gonna do Pepsi commercials or whatever commercials, for example. And when you do that, it's like, how do I say it? They cannot basically they cannot go overboard or they cannot go off script or whatever. They're being told what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And what goes behind closed doors, nobody knows. And a lot of times, this time, people like us, right, the average fans, we listen to this ain't for me, or this is no good, come on, as if, come on, you're better than this, I've heard you perform live, this, that. They have no response.
I feel like that's why a lot of these, like, more popular artists, that's why they turn to, like, doing stupid stuff like drugs or violence and stuff. Not because they're into drugs or violence and stuff. It's either for, in my opinion, two reasons. One, I think just get hype. Like, I think there was a time when Justin
They
Bieber...
get things over their head. Yeah,
Justin Bieber was getting, like, super popular on the internet because he, like, stole a car, I don't know, kicked a puppy into the sun, who knows. Or it's because they just finally snapped. Because, like you said, they're being pushed to do things that they don't want to do. So it just comes to the point where, they kind of go a little loony.
Yeah, it's true. Not just they do things against their will, also they're probably fucking miserable. See, the thing with me is, I got my own popularity. I recorded my own music. I'm my own boss. I'm my own manager. That's why my product is good. When it comes to my music, you will hear me sing later on, and you'll get a good taste out of it. The thing is, I keep things original. Thing is, I never sold myself. I never sold my soul to the media, to anybody, because nobody can tell me what to do. That's how it is when it comes to my product. See, a lot of them, like you said, they go loony and whatever. They're probably miserable with their own work. What they used to love doing the most, they don't love it anymore. Because every step they do, even let's say the clothes they wear, or type of clothes, or
brand.
Yeah, brand, or they get told they gotta wear it this way, or they gotta have their hair slicked that way, and they're probably not feeling comfortable themselves, right?
So once the media perceives them as going off the ladder, it's not that they're going crazy, it's the fact that they finally have a chance to do what they want to do, and at that point, what they want to do is fucking psychotic,
Yeah, they can't let them be free. Next thing you know, they control their life every day, like every day in their everyday life. What are you gonna eat? What kind of diets you gonna have? This, that. They're always told constantly. Let's say they feel sick one day, doesn't matter. You're gonna perform this day, and we did all this ticket sales and whatever. It's, you know.
Yeah, I'm starting to think like maybe for a lot of artists, COVID was a blessing, because that was when they didn't have to do live shows, they didn't have to do that, you know, they didn't have to go in public, they could just lie to people being like, I have COVID.
No, the thing, it wasn't a blessing for me.
Oh, really?
No, it was not. Like, I was performing left and right. Luckily I did get to perform during COVID. It wasn't a blessing because this time you're not making money into it. This time you got to do odd jobs here and there. See, I started recording good albums in 2017, 18, 19. As soon as COVID hit, that's it. No more parties. There was restrictions. There was this. There was that. See, that was another hoax I like to talk about another day. You know, but it's not like the virus wasn't real. It was real, but the thing is, they restricted us from doing too many things. Even when people got double vaxxed, this and that, and you remember the time where you had to have a vaccine passport before you enter certain premises.
Yeah.
Like
Tough times.
Exactly. So they took 2 years out of our life, 2.5 years. And a lot of artists, they started failing because of that. Me, luckily, I kept things smooth with social media, this and that. I posted things, kept my content going a bit.
It seems like during COVID, I'm gonna be honest, like a lot of the popular artists we had before then, they kind of went down.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, like down the ladder. But
Yes,
then
they
you
did.
had more artists that were kind of in the bush or grapevine or whatever, kind of just rise up as the others were plummeting.
Yeah.
So I think it was a win-lose for a lot of people.
Well, depends of those artists who were buying the bushes. Maybe they had sponsors or managers that were good with technology, or they promoted them more while they were sitting at home. That was possible too. Just like I started posting a lot of content too on my YouTube channel, my Facebook, my Instagram, you know. That's the thing, you know. Here you go, and I wanted to get into another version, like from oldies from the 70s, from Rod Stewart, Do You Think I'm Sexy? See, like I was telling you the story where I was in the car and I heard the remix, and I would always listen to it and get into it. My dad would be like, no, this song originally, when I was a kid, Rod Stewart, this, that, he'd talk about it, and one day it got on television, and my dad's like, look, listen to the original one. You know, like, back then, the good thing in the 90s or the 2000s, when people did remixes, it sounded similar, as we were talking before, right? Before we get sidetracked here. See, I'll put a good tune right here. I don't know if you heard this one from Rod Stewart. Have you heard this one?
Don't think I have, no.
No. Classic. You probably heard the remix of it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You remember the movie The Wedding Singer from Adam Sandler? There was a part where they were going, you know, trying for the bride dresses and this, that. They had the song playing in the background.
Oh, okay.
Do you think I'm sexy? Or sexy baby? That's what a lot of people call it. Well, I just wanted to give an example, right? So it's an example I'm trying to prove to everybody, where if you're going to do a remix or a cover or something, right, you got to do a good one. This is the rhythm is similar. This is See, this is what I'm comparing to. This is one is a lot newer version. So this one's not too bad. See, somebody's gonna do a cover.
This sounds like they probably didn't have this for you when I was in like elementary school, so grade like 1 to like 5 type thing. We used to have these elementary school dances.
Yeah.
Where they would basically just put on like a giant wall that just dance stuff, play a song, everyone kind of thing. This is the song that they would play because they didn't want to get like, they couldn't find the original one because it had like swear words or something.
Fair enough, yeah. Luckily, I still keep a lot of my CDs here. Because back in my days, it was all CDs. Here later on, I'll show a collection of my CDs.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I don't really have any CDs because like.
Well, you didn't grow up in that era, right? I did grow up in that era. I had cassettes too, but too bad I wish I would have kept them. Well, when I was 8 or 10, my little cousin, she was only 2, 3, Kareem started. I had Megadeth, I had Red Hot Chili Peppers, I had some good oldies. One day she ripped out the whole cassette, and I started freaking out. I started throwing things around. I was only 10, she was 3. But I don't have my old cassettes anymore, but luckily I kept my CDs, you know. See, like, with this cover up right here, it's not too bad. See, and the rhythm was still similar to the older version.
Yeah.
Even though the singer, obviously it's a different singer, right? But if they really butchered the whole lyrics, like the whole rhythm of the song, then I would have had a problem, you know?
Yeah, you know, I am kind of happy that it didn't really take a different turn because I don't really think that anyone could pull off turning that into like a rap or a rock or something like that, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing. Now I'll just make a quick translation in Armenian from parts of the world.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and then we'll go on to other things. Ինչ որ է սիրելիներս, այսօր խոսեցանք, ասինք մյուզիկի մասին Ամերիկայի, Կանադայի մեջ, որ երկեր կան, որ հին էին առաջ, ժամանակին աս երկերը, որ մեզ անուն արավ, հետո մարդիկ, որ remix-ները ընենն է, պետք է կոնե remix-ը օրիջինալին կա հասնի, և կիցար, եթե հիմա ես օրիջինալ երկը տրի և remix-ալ տրի երկին, նորեն երկը լավ դլսվի գոր, հիմա ես remix-ի հետ խնդիր չունիմ, նույնես աստղան ալ Tyler-ն ասավ, remix-ի հետ խնդիր չի գա, եթե remix-ը օրիջինալին մեզ լավ դլսվի. Anyways, now we're going to compare North American to the Armenian music, or the music that I do.
I've kind of been looking forward to this because I don't know what Armenian music sounds like, or at least the older stuff.
Yes, so you're about to find out.
I'm super curious.
Well, I want to translate it really quick, what I'm going to talk it out, and we take it out from there, you know.
Sure.
I don't have to translate everything word for word, you know what I mean, or else our podcast will be 4 or 5 hours long, but I'm just going to give them a quick thing and then compare different songs to it.
Sure.
Ինչ որ են, հիմա մենք հայկական երաժշտությունը պիտի խոսենք, այսօր ինչ եղել է մեր հայկական երաժշտությունին հետ, ինչ որ է թուգամին գիտեք, որ ես Sarkis Serge Melengitchian III-ն եմ, Manuel Melengitchianin թորնիկն եմ, բաբիգիս հորեղբորը դվան է ինքը, ինչ որ են ես որ երկեր գերքեմ, դուք միշտ գլսեք իմ երկերս և գիտեք որ լավ ցայն ունիմ ու լավ երկեր գերքեմ և միշտ ես օրիջինալ կբայեմ մեր հայկական երաժշտությունը, բայց այսօր կուզեմ որ խոսիլ ինչ եղել է մեր հայկական երաժշտությունը և մեր մշակույթը, աստեղն սկսենք, օրիջինալ երբ մտնեմ 60-ական կամ 80-ականներուն հետո պամ 90-ականները դարբերակները տնեմ, հետո 2000-ականները և այսօր ինչ եղել է մեր երաժշտությունը, որ ես ուզեմ, որ իմ դեսագետս, իմ պրոբլեմս ասել, որ թեպի ուր գերտագոր մեր հայկական երաժշտությունը. Basically what I told them was, now that I'm into the Armenian music, everybody knows me as Sarkis Serge Melengitchian III. And my relative, my grandfather's first cousin, he was a singer like Manuel Melengitchian. From the 60s, he was a singer.
Okay.
And now I'm a singer in today's modern day, And the thing is, everyone that knows me and the type of music I do original Armenian pop music. So the reason I want to compare it to the Western music, and when I say Western, not just North American, it could be European, Latin American. See, the Armenian music today, it's turned into North American, Latin American, it's turned into Western European. So they're not keeping things original anymore. That's the problem. And I'm going to have different types of music. I'm going to start with what music started, and back after in the 80s and 90s, they remastered it and how it does sound better and what it has turned today. And I want you to compare it too, because you have a good ear in the music. I want you to see the difference with it.
Sure thing.
Okay, original Armenian music. This is a good classic from Adis Harmandian. He is a legend. He died. He died, I believe, a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago. I don't have the exact date. He died of cancer. He was in his, I think, early 70s or late 70s. He is our legend, and he was born in Lebanon, but he's Armenian by background. Because we had a lot of famous Armenian singers in the diaspora, because just like the Jewish people, you know how they went through the Holocaust? Armenians, we went through the Armenian genocide from the Ottoman Turkish Empire in April 24, 1915. So a lot of Armenians got spread out throughout the world. So a lot of Armenians who lived in the diaspora, just like myself, like I'm first generation Canadian, born and raised in Canada. There's Armenians who were born in different parts of the world, but they kept literature and music and culture, a lot of them, all the way through today, See, this is what the music was in the 60s. This is a classic song, Karun Karun. Basically, metaphorically speaking, it's spring, Karun Karun Karune, Sirun Sirun Sirune. That means it's spring, it's beautiful, describing the moon's eyes.
This is my first time hearing something like this. I can't complain, honestly.
Well, it's from the 60s, too.
You know what? Consider what you were talking about earlier, how it kind of gone downhill. I kind of really want to listen to the current stuff. I like this. We're going to stick with this. I'm going
You hear the vocals, he is our greatest legend. He is our greatest legend. He started his career in the 60s. And there was a time where Adis Harmandian, a lot of Armenians from genocide times, a lot of them did not know music, a lot of them were listening to Turkish or Arabic. But when he came out with the Armenian folk music, the Armenian classical music. Everybody started listening to Armenian music in the 60s, all because of him. Adis Harmandiանը երբ որ ինքը սկսավ երգել 1960-ականները, շատ հայեր կային, որ ցեղասպանություն են ելող զավակներ էին, շատեր թուրքեր են, արաբեր են երգեր մտիկրին, բայց երբ որ Adis-ը ելավ 1960-ականներում դիպանանի մեջ, սկսավ կլասիկական երգեր եւ ժողովրդական եւ աշխուհական սկսավ երգել, ու ժողովուրդը ամբողջ աշխարհը Հայաստանին սկսյալ սկսան հայկական երաժշտություն լսել եւ աստեցություն ունեցան ինձ պես նոր երդասարտներ այսօր. What do you think of that? Now here's the thing. This was in the 60s. Ասի 60-ականներն էր. Now let's get to the 90s. People did cover-ups. It's still good. See, this one they made it more folk. I love it too. This was still good. It hasn't got bad yet. This is a cover-up to this song from another legend we used to have, Sarkis Serge. Nice, eh?
This is the music I would play to like a crowd.
See, that, in the 80s, the 90s, that's what it was about. It was about impressing the crowd. People danced to this. They had circle dances, they had parties, weddings, engagements, and all that. got beautiful voice too. The original was more classical, right? Saying, all the wise, my love, believed him, and all the tears went through her eyes. That's what it's saying. Basically, it's metaphorical. This world is a tragedy. I don't want you to run away and go away and forget about it. There's a lot of passion for all our music.
See, like I said earlier, I'm really into music where as long as it has a good beat, I don't really care about lyrics. So this is definitely something I would listen to, even though I don't understand Armenian at all.
Absolutely, but I'm kind of giving you a translation to it, kind of get an idea. But do you see the literature where it's over hundreds of years old right there, and the way they're singing it, it's metaphorical. See, that's the thing with Armenian language; it's metaphorical. See, like when we speak modern English today, everything is word for word, right? No, but I'm glad you enjoy it though. That's something that would make you enjoy even you don't understand because you like the rhythm to it. See, and as they did another cover on this is a lot more modern right now, but it was still good. This is another great singer named Andy. He's Iranian Armenian. He's Armenian from Iran, born and raised. Now he resides in California. See, the rhythm hasn't changed that much. It's a little bit upbeat, but
It's still really good. I enjoy it.
now we're gonna get to the bad part of all this.
Can't wait.
Yeah, you're gonna see the difference.
I like how even though like throughout the generations, they're still able to keep it kind of the original.
Oh, yeah. This song is over hundreds of years old. Hundreds of years old. However, they started recording this music in the 60s, then the 70s, then the 80s, the 90s. It was good until we got to the 2010, 15. This is where music started going downhill. Okay, now I'm going to get to the bad stuff. And a lot of people, I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this because the singers, they're also top singers. They are big stars in Armenia, but one of them is a son of the greatest legend. However, I used to listen to their old music, which was good music. Now they started this is where we get into 2015 or 2020. This is what the music has turned now. Now you saw a bunch of originals, right? 3 different ones. This is where we are now, right now, when it comes to the music. Okay.
Kind of like mentally preparing myself.
Do you feel that?
It sounds like video game music.
Thank you. See, you don't even need to know Armenian music. You understand when you listen to rhythm, right?
Like I would enjoy this if I was like Link, you know,
Yeah.
if I was like fighting people with a sword type thing.
Like in Zelda, right?
Exactly, yeah.
See, he's a top singer in Armenia. I used to listen to his music from early 2000s, 90s, 2010s.
This sounds more Indian. I don't know why.
They mixed a bit of Indian, they mixed a bit of, and Indian music has nothing to do with Armenian music. Because you saw what original sounds like.
Yeah, this is either kind of like Indian music or like something that one of my old coworkers would play in the break room, and they're like Middle Eastern.
Yeah, this is like Middle Eastern video game style, like you were saying. And also they're ruining the lyrics, the words in the music too. They changed the fix that? Because a lot of old school music listeners like me, nobody likes it, but it's the young generation today between 10 years old to 20, 25 years old. And we do have a bunch of idiots who are old school too, like maybe 1% of them. Oh, I'm tired of the old stuff. I want to get into the new stuff. Well, screw you. Like that's not right, you know?
Yeah, I would I would expect the song you just played to be like on one of those Game Boy Colors that like I would play with as a kid, not like something from nowadays.
Yeah. Well, here's another good one. This brought a lot of backlash to a lot of Armenians. A lot of people were mad at this music. Now I'll put an original one. This guy, Robert Chilingirian, he was American Armenian from California. He created good music. And the thing is, he passed away in 1999. I think he was in his 40s or something like that. A big legend. He was also a Western Armenian from Armenian genocide roots. This song I used to love, but sorry they butchered it up. See, I don't want people now to think whoever sang this newly reformed song, right, that I dislike them. No, I don't dislike them. I think they were great singers at one point, but when they're getting into the media and they're selling themselves out and they're doing it all for the money, for techno music and that kind of stuff, I'm against that. I'm the only guy, you'll hear some of my songs, or I'll put some songs that are comparing towards these things. See, this is Armenian pop music, Armenian pop culture. And the thing is, basically, there was a revolution, just like rock music in the 80s. Basically, when I say Armenian pop music, this is the rock and roll of Armenian music. People during concerts, during parties, engagements, weddings, everybody jumped in the air and danced to it, and everybody felt it in their blood, you know what I mean, when it came to this music. But the thing is, today, now they get into all this other stuff. Doesn't see, this is another classic song from our original legend. This was from 1991, Hop Hop Jivani.
I don't think it would be something that I would listen to.
That's
just
fine. But it's original, that's the thing. This song was created by him. And today in 2022, I believe, they came up with this song. Now I'm going to show the cover for this.
Can't wait.
Oh yeah. You're going to see how bad they butchered this, and I hate to say it, you know. And the thing is, like, something I used to love a lot, now I hate it a lot. Now listen to it. Same thing. This is what our modern music is today. They're pretty much trying to phase out everything. Exactly. But it's the same song. Sure. Yeah. See? He changed the whole rhythm to it.
Just because you take the chord from a song doesn't mean they're the same song.
Exactly.
You just ruined it.
Exactly. I'm going to translate what we're talking about. Հոսիմ կանադացին երեսունիմ, որ ինքը հայկական երաշտություն չէ լսած, այսօր ես հայկական երաշտություն խաղցային իրեն համար։ Հիմա որ մենք օրիջինալ երկերը գտնենք, որ օրիջինալ հայկական pop երաշտությունը, Եվ գլսեգոր, եւ դղան գլսեգոր շատ գավնի գորած երաշտությունը, ինչ որ օրիջինալ խաղցա, բայց հիմա որ մեր մոդերն երկերը 2020-ական թիվերուն եւ կամ 2015-ի թիվերուն երկը գլսեգոր, նույնը չէ գլսեգոր։ Եվ գլսեգոր որ ասի որ գլսեմ որ ամբողջ երաշտությունին ծևը լման փոխեր են գարձես լատիներենի կամ ամերիկյանի անակ պանտարցուցեր են լրիվ երաշտությունը ավրեր են սկեր են։ Հիմա նայր, երկիչը լավ ծայն ունի, հոյագապ ծայն ունի և լավ երաժիշտ է և ինքը դարիներով իրեն միշտ լսած եմ ես իրեն, մինչև իր հայրը գերկեր։ Եվ ինքը լեջենդ է, իր բաբան ալ մեծ լեջենդ է, ասված հոգին լուսավոր է, բայց երբ որ օրիջինալ երկը, աղոր հոյագապ երաշտություն էր, եթե ասոր դարբերակը բիդենես, նույնիսկ դղան որ կանալացի է սավ երաշտությունը բեք է իրար համապարասխանի։ Did I say it right? Like from the original tune to right now, the music has to at least be like very comparable. It has to almost match, even though they can use chords, but they literally took the chords out of it. Exactly what you were talking about, I translated the whole thing. You see where it's heading to, basically.
Very, yeah.
And because of like crap like this, right? Like a lot of times from what it used to be, today it's turned into, I'll give you other examples. If I can find it here somewhere. Now they do a lot of these things. So does not even sound Armenian anymore. Imatva sirashtukuna borgatre mor hech paygaranukune hech gapchuni mal.
If it weren't for the fact that they're speaking Armenian, I think that this is like a North American song.
Yes. Նույնիսկ Tyler այս օրսա որ եթե իրենք բարերը այրեն չսենն է, ասիերքը լրիվ ամերիկյան երաշտություն է ասողը, եթե բարերը այրեն չնեն են տալիս։ Am I right?
Yeah.
And look at the music jingles. All about gangbanging, this, women, this, it's a joke. Seriously, if somebody's gonna sing rap, I love rap music. I grew up with good rap music, from Tupac Shakur, DMX, to Biggie, to Public Enemy, real rappers who would sing about their life. Yes, I'll rap music shot to see them. Բայց ես կսիրեմ անկներենով լա ռապերը, Tupac-ին, Biggie-ին, Eminem, DMX, ասպաները կսիրեմ, բայց ես չեմ սիրեր հայկական մշակույթը աղավաղել և հայրեն դարձնել ռապը, ասե հարցը։
It is very weird because when you think of rap,
yeah,
you normally think of the people you mentioned, Tupac, Eminem, etc. So it's kind of weird or kind of awkward having something like that coming from another like country, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't really know how to explain it, honestly. It's so strange to me.
Express your feelings. Ինքը գսե որ երբ որ rap-ը բանը Eminem կամ ասանք legend-ները գային որ գերկեին rap, բայց ուրիշ երգիրեմը կամ ուրիշ լեզուով rap-ը լանի, ինձի համար դարօրինակ է գսե որ Tyler-ը այսօր. That's what I translated exactly. Keep going.
Yes, so I don't want to sound rude, but I think when it comes to music, maybe a good idea for that guy to just kind of, stick with Argentinian stuff. Because I don't think rapping is his strong suit.
Exactly.
I obviously can't understand the lyrics. I could tell off of the YouTube video, obviously it had to be something about gangbanging or making money or doing some other illegal thing.
Yeah.
So I think definitely they definitely took that from like American or North American
Yes.
culture and kind of
Absolutely.
just, you know, good for them for making it their own. That doesn't make it good.
No,
just
it does not.
because you made your own song doesn't mean it's good at all.
Well, here's the thing too. Armenians, whether it's diaspora or California, like big communities. See, I'm an Armenian from a small community who lives in a small town like you, Grimsby, Beamsville. Those who live in big cities or the ones who come from Armenia, they're trying to westernize fast. They're literally trying to forget what our legends created. And for thousands of years, Armenia has been around for 5,000 years. But because in the old days there was no technology, but a lot of people over time has been passed by. In the early 1920s, 30s, the 50s, they started recording because technology came by. But the music's been around for thousands of years, the folklore and, you know, the...
I can understand them
classical.
trying to try something new, because even though, like, you don't really hear a lot of Argentinian rap type stuff.
Exactly.
So I can, like, good for them for trying something new. Good for them to going out there and making their own stuff.
This was new. The reason I brought this up, because this was in 2006. See, this is where it got to. 2006, the song came out. I went to Armenia for the first time as a Canadian Armenian. I was 19. I went there. Whole country, everybody listened to old school music, good music. This music came out and it went on TV. 90% of people, they ignored this. They didn't care for it. There was some...
Makes sense.
Yeah. Այն adin 2006-ին ասիր կնոր գելավ դե 92-ը Հայաստանի ժողովուրդը ամեն մարդ արհամարեցին ասիրքը կարևոր չէր այդ բաղմությունը իմը. So basically they ignored that. They didn't care for it. Yeah, once in a while some teenagers or kids, they listen. I didn't pay attention to it either. I thought it was stupid to begin with. Because if I want to listen to rap, I'll listen to what I'm listening where I'm born and raised, right? But as I went there a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, and finally from 2017 to 19 or 2020, I lived there for a long time. This kind of music in 2006 that was getting ignored, all of a sudden the music that people grew up listening for thousands of years, that got ignored. This time only 10% of the singers started singing real Armenian music. 9% of the new artists, they all have good voices and they got good talent. We started getting into this stuff.
There is nothing wrong with the original. Like the original stuff that you were showing me from the 60s to the 90s. There is...
Or even 2000s, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there is no... I feel like every culture has their own type of music.
Absolutely.
So Argentina would be this, or Argentinian music would be the stuff you just showed me. In like Mexico and any Spanish-speaking country, you would have songs that are similar to them.
Even they bastardized music. That's another topic. I'll tell you, because original Latino music is salsa, merengue, cumbia, bachata. See, I lived in Mexico too for 6 months. I learned things.
There's nothing wrong with those things, but I feel like just because since North America and has started getting, like North America and like some European countries like England have started getting into this type of music where it's rap and pop and stuff. Definitely the other countries are obviously taking some sort of advice, thinking that just because, well, the Americans can do it, so can I. No, you can't.
Exactly. They're getting way over their heads, I think.
I think with the utmost respect, I think it's probably a good idea for some people to just stick to their roots.
Their roots, exactly. Thank you for that. See, whenever I talk to people who are non-Armenian about this, they all agree with me. But today when I talk to Armenians who are immigrants that come to Canada or whatever, see, Armenians like me who were born in 87 and some came in the 80s, some came in the 70s, some in the 90s, they all agree with me. But the ones that are coming here the last year or two or the last 5 years, They don't get it. And I'm always clashing heads with people all the time with this. I go, you guys are literally destroying what we've had for thousands of years. You're destroying our cultural identity, I'm telling you. That's what's going on. It's like for North American music, we have a cultural identity too. See, this is where I'm a proud Canadian too. Canada's been around 150 years. US has been around more than 200 years. The thing is, we have cultural identity. As Canadians or Americans, we should not Easternize our music, whether try to make it more Mediterranean or Greek or Armenian or Russian, and get into that and do that kind of music and sing it in English, because it would not make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a total different language, basically.
Especially since when it comes to countries around, like whether it's Argentina or just the countries around it, when it comes to the language differences, I feel like English, sorry, can't think.
English in general.
English is more simplified, while you guys have like longer words for more basic things. So I know like Germany or German, there's a lot of words that are
similar to English.
Long.
Oh.
Like, really long, but they mean one simple thing. Yeah. So like school would be something completely different. So I feel like with different kind of spelling, different kind of words, different meanings for a lot of them, I feel like wrapping those kinds of words is very difficult for a lot of other languages.
Absolutely.
Because English is very simplified when it comes to that.
Yes, it's very simplified. It has a story to it, because the old rappers back then in the 90s or the 80s, they lived the ghetto life. They lived the tough times. They're telling a story with the hard times they went through. They lived through it all, so it makes sense when they actually sing it out or they express it.
Yeah, the rappers nowadays, they're like getting dicks tattooed on their forehead, thinking they're gangster. They've never seen a gun in their life. They've never seen bullets fly by like some of the older people.
Exactly.
It's honestly kind of embarrassing, I'm gonna be honest.
Exactly.
Because it's like you're trying to act like a gangster, but you're not. You've never been one, you never will be one.
And it's the same with like you go to Eastern Europe or Western Europe or Middle East, some Arabic countries too, they're into that rapping stuff, and they're rapping about gang stuff, this, that. But if you live in their country, they have a lot more stricter policy than we have here.
Especially...
And they cannot get away with selling drugs or dope or pointing guns at people, because they get gunned down on the spot if they even intended to.
Yeah, especially when it comes to Canadian rappers as well, is what I hate the most. Is because compared to places like America and then other places that have different dictatorships like Russia or Germany or any other countries, Canada's very peaceful compared to those other countries.
Absolutely.
So you're sitting here being like, yeah, I killed this person, etc., something, racial slur, something.
Yes.
You know, and then you're sitting there like, dude, you're saying this, but meanwhile you break your pinky toe or you have free health care down the street, dog.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, the people like Tupac and people that are around his generation, living in America during the times, or
East side,
everybody,
West side,
everybody had either a knife or a block on them.
Exactly, or it was them fighting against the system, shooting against cops, or they're getting gunned down. It was their lifestyle.
Here in Canada, it could be freezing outside. You could rob me with a water gun if you wanted to.
Exactly. Exactly. Like
that's
here
the most dangerous part.
Yes, I agree with you on that, because here in Canada, with our music, we have our own very culture too. We have our own story too, just like you mentioned, freezing, or up north, this, that. A lot of our music, if you notice, original Canadian music, it's very mellow. And there is rock too into it, like Our Lady Peace, great Canadian band. Nickelback. I don't know if you heard this one, the song that I was playing right before our introduction, Mistake, from Serial Joe.
Oh, okay.
They're from Windsor, Ontario, and they're a very underrated band, and they got into Much Music one time in 1999. So you wouldn't know, because I was only 12 years old at that time. That was the first song that was playing, from Serial Joe. And they were young kids, they're around my age now, but they were 13, 14. They were like a punk rock band, you know, and Canadian. See, a lot of our music, it's very mellow, it's very nice, very smooth. We're more the chill kind of people, having a beer at a pub or having a pint, you know, or around a bonfire, that kind of thing, right? And we're very multicultural. We love everybody from all over the world.
That's true.
Makes
I mean,
sense.
especially nowadays, considering all of the like letting people in, our government's been doing that. So we're definitely multicultural, but like it just icks me because these guys that are around my age, or like late teens, early 20s, they're going off and off and off about like, oh, I'm a gangster. Like I'll beat a child, you know? No, like shut up. Like no, you won't. Stop it. You're not tough. I saw you cry because a dog was too small the other day. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
You are not tough. The worst thing that
Absolutely
you
not.
could do is maybe put me in a hospital for a day. Guess what? Canada, free healthcare. It's not like you're.
Yeah, like a lot of people, they go to the hospital for stupid reasons, or they catch a cold, or if they got a little bruise in their elbow. Meanwhile, we got
$13,000.
Meanwhile, we got somebody just got in a car accident, or somebody's about to do an open heart surgery, or something, or
All they gotta do
somebody's
is
trying to
pay
get cancer treatment. But there's people going to the hospitals for the stupidest reasons.
like
to begin with.
the only thing we had to pay for here in Canada is for parking. Like that's just kind of that's the worst part of it. And if you
Yes.
want a Snickers bar in the middle of your surgery, I don't know.
Oh Jesus! And you know what? That's part of the scam too.
Right, we're the gangsters. Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes so much
exactly. And
sense.
parking, like, have you seen Toronto? What's it gotten?
Oh,
I can't imagine.
I went there around this time last year for a Comic-Con event. And I went there with my friends on the train, but I ran into some friends who decided to drive there. Parking in the area where the Comic-Con event was going on for, it was like $30 for a parking spot
Oh,
for like
shit.
maybe 3 hours.
Oh jeez.
What is wrong with you?
So if you're there for like 9 hours, that's gonna cost you $90.
Yeah,
It's gotten ridiculous.
it is crazy, and I am so happy that I don't drive anywhere. I'm kind of happy about that
Yeah.
because, yeah, it's Jesus. But back to like these gangsters and stuff. Like, come on, dude. Like these kids are just graduating high school. These kids are just going into college.
Yeah, half of them are probably nerds too.
Yeah,
Or geeks.
these kids are rapping about like killing people and gangbanging and all that stuff. Meanwhile, they're going and watching like anime in their dorm, crying themselves to sleep.
Yeah,
Like you're
or they're probably beating off the anime next thing you know.
yeah, honestly, yeah. They're on these freaking Discord servers calling people kittens and stuff. Like you
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
You're just kind of sitting there, kind of rolling with it at this point.
Yeah, like I totally understand where this whole thing is coming to, you know, like it's like the same thing like I was mentioning throughout the whole world. It's becoming the same shit. Something that I used to love, something I'm passionate for. And guess what? As a diaspora Armenian, or as a Canadian too, I'm suffering because of this. And I'm the only one keeping it alive. And I'm actually the youngest Western Armenian. Well, we have a Western Armenian and Eastern Armenian. The Eastern Armenians are the ones that live in Armenia, and some of them are residing in California now. Western Armenians, you know, we got spread out after the genocide in 1915. I became the youngest. We've had so many big time legends. We've had the one I showed you before, Adi Sarmanyan, Paul Baldalian, he also died. My relative, Manuel Melengitchian, he's in his 80s right now, or 70s. We have other great singers too, Sarkis Maxim Panosyan, Apoma Sergian. I showed a bunch of them. Another time I'm gonna only show different types of songs and different singers. I'm gonna promote them a lot, and a lot of them are either in their 60s now or 50s. So a lot of them are dead now too.
We don't have a lot of younger
We don't
music
have-
artists.
because a lot of the young ones, especially ones born and raised in Canada or US or Europe or Latin America,
Are producing crap.
not only producing crap, a lot of them, they're disappeared from community. They marry foreigner and they're no longer part of the roots, like when I was 3 years old, see, my father's a priest too, right? He used to be, when I was 3, we went to the Armenian club, Armenian church. There was 30 kids besides me who were also born and raised here like me. Today, if I go to the church again or the club, I don't see a lot of these guys that I was born and raised and I grew up with anymore. They're all gone. They either moved different cities or different towns, or they want nothing to do with it. You always see somebody, a foreign Armenian, coming here and somebody new. That's the thing. That's why the Armenian communities get smaller all the time. So basically, I'm the youngest, and I'm the last Western Armenian singer who's singing with a Western Armenian dialect. That's what's going on, basically.
I mean, and that's the thing. It's not even like just Armenia anymore, and not even including North America. It's other countries in
Whole world.
Yeah, especially don't even get me started on the UK. Have you heard about this drill stuff going on?
The what?
It's called drill rap or whatever.
Oh god.
These guys, they dress.
One time I listened to it. If you want, I could put it on. Tell me.
If you have ever felt like shooting yourself in your life, listen to drill.
I have to. I tried to one time. And
it is back to the gangster thing.
Here. How about I get you to play this one?
I will. Yeah.
I'm glad you're talking about these. See, people should know, and our young generation is lost today. Not just us, all over the world.
The first one that comes up is from Gore Ocean.
And what year is that from?
This came out 4 months ago.
Okay.
It has 1 million views. It is called Drill Type Beat Shooting. UK NY drill.
And why is it 1 million views? What's the reason they watch it? They got a good video in the background?
No, it's just like a picture.
Oh.
Now I don't know if there's actual lyrics to this, but even though I'm not the biggest fan, I can understand why people enjoy the beat kind of. But back to the gangster thing, it's just more gangbanging stuff. No, it's no passion, nothing that the old rappers used to talk about. Even though I can understand why people enjoy it, what's wrong with you? It's like basically using a Q-tip with sandpaper in your ears. It doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the kids today, they love the fantasize about gangbang and stuff. But kids today, like you were saying before, they know nothing about their street life. They don't know anything about gangbanging or shooting or this, that. They never lived through that.
Unlike people around my father's age who dealt with that type of stuff. I've never experienced.
And certain people, they don't want to get involved with that stuff because it was dangerous.
Me and my siblings have never experienced gang violence, at least not to an extent of shooting and killing each other. None of the friends I have ever experienced this stuff. But then you have these kids who apparently seen this type of stuff happen, which I can understand it happens. It's a tragedy. But not to the extent where every single song on the internet now is this.
Yeah. They're all wannabes. They're all posers. I don't know if there's a modern word for that nowadays. Phony, exactly. And
trying to imitate older people.
Exactly. And the thing is, those who have lived through those times, as years go by, they go in jail, they get out of jail, or they've seen a lot of hard shit in their life. They try to get out of that lifestyle. They try to find a job at either 7-Eleven or Subway, or they want to do something for themselves, and they want to be out of this.
The crappiest part about that is that these guys that were used to be gangbangers and stuff, and they're trying to turn their life around, they get shamed because they're trying to turn their life around. Because for some reason in people's heads, ever since, this isn't even just nowadays, this was back then as well. for some reason trying to leave that life because you have a family and kids that you have to take care of now. Apparently that's shameful because you're no longer putting your life on the line for what, an ounce?
Yeah, exactly.
And like I keep on saying, then you have kids like these, basically a smack to their face. Like
they should get.
Like fuck all the hardships that people my father's age had to deal with. But you're running around talking about how you shot a family. I don't like. Who cares?
Yeah.
You're not special for it. You're not
special. You probably ruined the family's life right there.
You're
somebody who's trying to work harder to raise their kids or something.
Like even if like a lot of people nowadays also commit literal crimes in their songs,
mm-hmm.
and then expect people not to be like,
mm-hmm.
"What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like, why?
Yeah.
Like what's his name? I completely forget his name, but he was a very popular rapper. Colored dreadlocks. He looked like he would punch a mother of three for no reason at all.
Oh my god.
But he went to jail, and basically he got out earlier than he was supposed to because he snitched on his friends.
Yeah.
And like I completely forget his name. It was Lil something, like Lil something.
He went to jail because he snitched on his friends, eh?
Well, he went to jail for like various crimes. I think some of it had to do with drugs, some of it had to do with actual violence.
Oh.
And then he got his sentence reduced because he snitched on his buddies. And then basically when he got out of jail, he was completely shunned by people. Like no record labels wanted to do anything with him.
Because he's a snitch.
I think
and if you're a real gangster, you don't snitch, you take it to your grave. That's the thing, where you do time so you don't.
Exactly. Like last time I checked, he hasn't done anything. So I don't know if he's released any new songs as of late. If so, I highly doubt they're that popular, or if they are that popular, it's mostly just another Kanye thing where you only listen to the shit so you can make fun of them for it.
yeah, I understand. It's turned into a joke, basically, and a laughing stock. And that's the thing. See, the real gangsters or mafia or anybody, see, I don't want to give names or I don't want to get into it. The thing is, if you do time, you go to jail, and if you get out, see, back in the old days, this is how it was. If you watch old mafia movies and this, that, if you got out less than 2 months or 3 months, next thing you know, they set you up, they get you killed, because they know you've spilled out information.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like you said, he snitched on his friends, and he did less time, and he got out. See, real gangsters and those who take, the real ones, they take their word to the grave. They pretend they don't know nothing, they know a lot, they won't even say nothing, and they will sit in jail for 20, 30 years. Even if they die, they will not.
And there were times where if they did decide to snitch, they would literally have to go into witness protection because they were afraid of dying.
Of course.
Or because what happened quite a bit was somebody would snitch, the guys they snitched on couldn't find them, so they went after the wife, they went after the kids. So next thing you know, you have a bunch of your family's dead because you decided to run your mouth when you'd be completely safe if you would just not.
There's an old saying, snitches for stitches. That's what happens. See, you and I, thank God we never grew up in that life. But I do know people who have. Because, after all, I was born and raised in St. Catharines. And I knew people from my high school, and not elementary, but high school. A lot of them dropped out of school and they went for that. I don't want to give names or get into details. But I know how their life turned out. A lot of them either got shot, dead, or end up in jail and out and got the crap beaten out of because they couldn't make ends meet every time.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
I mean, I'm very happy to say I never got into that kind of life. However, back when I was younger, so early elementary school days, I lived in Hamilton.
Yeah.
So in the area of Hamilton, I had this one friend, great kid. I found out a couple months ago that he actually passed away from a heroin overdose. Not sure how he got his hands on it, not sure anything like that. It sucks, but it kind of shows that I'm kind of happy I got out of that area, even though, because like that could have been me. You know, you never know what might happen depending on the area you live in.
Well, I grew up in a rough spot. I grew up in Ventura Drive, Hake Street, Carlton, downtown area, St. Catharines. At that time, it wasn't too bad, but now it's gotten worse and worse. However, I know what you're saying. I grew up in that area, but I stayed away. My dad always put me into hockey, music. You know, I got involved myself with activities. I also joined the wrestling team in high school. What else did I do? I got into different things, different sports. I got into boxing. I got into a little bit of martial arts when I was really young. So that kept me away from this stuff, you know.
Really good, and honestly, like, I hope in the future if I become a father, I want to keep my kids as far away from this stuff ever, because now I ain't for hitting kids.
No.
But if I ever found out that
Well,
my
you're
son,
into disciplining them, at least.
if I ever found out my son was talking about gangbanging and stuff when I give him like a cushy life, I am knocking his ass out. Like, because I feel like that's
Amen to that, brother. Amen.
That's what my dad would do to me. If he saw me posting some stuff, yeah, I pulled up with the 9, shot him 2 times, he's dead. You know, like
Bullshit like
he'd
that,
smack me
unnecessary
upside
shit.
the head,
Exactly.
call me some sort of slur, and then like send me to my room. Like,
I would do the same thing, and you know, my dad would do the same thing. And the reason why, not only you make a fool out of yourself, but you do attract heat towards you. You do attract other members or gangs coming at you. It's like, oh yeah, you talking about street life? How about I show you what the street life really is all about?
Because unlike what a lot of these kids think nowadays, it's not fun. It's not easy. It's
No.
not like you can, like, a lot of these rappers who actually dealt with this type of stuff, like Tupac, etc. Them going through it, hell, Tupac fucking died due to violence, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
That man, like, he never even escaped it, and yet he was popular in the rap. So, like, these kids that are, like I literally said 5 minutes ago, these kids that are posting this stuff thinking that they're cool, all it's doing is just kind of making themselves look like a fucking idiot, and making, like, the people who actually went through this stuff big old slaps to the face.
Yeah, it's insulting their intelligence too. And imagine if Tupac or Biggie and all these big time rappers back then, if they were to live today and they saw this stupid crap these kids are doing, what do you think they would have said? In your honest opinion.
I think they would be very disappointed, honestly.
And besides disappointed, you don't think they would probably, like me personally, if I was them, I'd go on a rampage. I'd be like,
yeah, you know, oh, you think you're a gangster? I'll show you what a gangster is, type thing. And that doesn't even go for North American music. It also goes for the music that you were showing me from
Armenia.
Armenia. I thought I was about to say Armenia. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's right.
But,
Armenia or Armenia, same thing.
Yeah. So, like, even though, like, good for you. You made something out of it. You made your own original stuff.
Yeah, but they copied lyrics from some other original. That's the thing too.
Like, especially that rap song that you showed me from Armenia. Like, come on, you're not a gangster. I don't know what it's like in Armenia, because then again, I've born and raised in Canada. The only time I've ever left Ontario was to go to Cuba for a week. So
Yeah.
that's really it. So I don't know what it's like in that country, but I highly doubt it's something about, it's like America, where you're making money, you're gangbanging, you're all that stuff. Because even though it could be bad.
Imagine Cuba, they still live in that old communist regime. I don't know if you know about that. And the thing about Cuba, they come up with this music, that music. Fidel does not condone these things.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you grab these guys, you throw them in jail. Some of them, they sing about it or stupid stuff, but they don't do about it. Because you can't. Nobody has any weapons in Cuba. Nobody can carry them. If they get caught carrying a knife or a kitchen knife, boom, they throw their ass in jail right away.
When I went last February, so I took a plane and then we took a bus to the resort we were staying in.
Yeah.
We passed by houses that were maybe like from the size of like there to like a staircase that is like off camera right now.
Yeah.
So they don't know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
I
about.
know
So the
exactly.
house is big, basically that big, maybe 2 stories. Like the bathroom's literally outside. There's no water, no plumbing, no nothing like that. It makes you really realize how good you have it in a country like Canada.
Oh, of course.
Because like in those houses, those can hold up to like 10, 15 people because nobody can afford anything.
Yeah, exactly. And then the buildings are too old. Next thing you know, it can crash down, or one little earthquake, one shake up, falls on top of you. Next thing you know.
The most interesting thing I learned when I was in Cuba was the fact that the people that were serving me and my family, they were making our food, they were cleaning our rooms, they all had PhDs.
Yeah.
They were all doctors, lawyers, etc.
Absolutely.
Just they weren't able to get out of the country to go do something with their PhDs.
So they were working in resorts, a lot of them,
Yeah.
so they can make better tips or better money, but they only depend on tips because they only get $1 or $2 a day.
Yeah.
Not even probably.
It's weird because in this country, if you're looked down upon if you work a minimum wage job type thing.
Exactly.
At least if you're not if you're a kid, like 15 to like 19, but if you're older, like 30s, and you're working a minimum wage job, for some reason it's looked down upon. But then in other countries like that, it's a good thing to be working a job like that, where you're cleaning or you're bussing tables or stuff. And then you can be a lawyer or a doctor or whatever you want. Doesn't matter. You're still fucking broke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have it good compared to the rest of the world. Even some parts of states we have it way good. See, at least there's safety. Our policing's better. It could always be perfect. Our healthcare is not too bad. Our healthcare is free, but we could be spending more on the money on our healthcare and a lot of things instead of having too many newcomers who don't want to work. See, I don't have a problem with newcomers or immigrants as long as they're working and they're contributing to society. See, compared to the old newcomers like my parents, they came in 1986 and I was born in 1987. And there's other newcomers during the 80s, the 70s, the 90s, all the way through early 2000s. Everybody wanted to work and everybody appreciated they came from a shithole to something new and they had a better luxury of life, better quality of life. Everybody worked hard and everybody contributed to taxes. Now the dynamics are so bad, we got too many. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's a lot more coming. And there's people who are sponsoring cousins, relatives, uncles, aunts, married cousins, I don't know what, and they're all putting them in Toronto or Mississauga or other big cities here. Hardly any like industries here, hardly any infrastructures, and a lot of them don't want to work. They want to get into this government money, welfare system or whatever. Well, they go like, oh, if I'm getting free money, why should I work? Why should I break a sweat? See, I'm against that too.
I'm very happy for these people. I know that in their countries, wherever they may be from, for some reason they're all classified as Indians, which is really fucked up. But wherever they're from,
well, they're from all over,
Yeah,
just
good for them. They're getting
city,
out of these countries where it's difficult to survive and coming to first world countries like Canada. And I believe that it's a good thing for our government to be letting them in.
Absolutely,
However,
I agree on that.
I feel like they've done it wrong. Because so far, I know that even if I go to college, even if I become successful in the radio business, big chance I'm still probably going to have roommates until I'm like in my 50s.
Yeah.
Like, because the housing market has gone downhill.
Yeah.
And like, great for these people. I'm so proud of them for being able to get up and get out of their country. But I think Canada needs to focus on the people they already have.
Yeah.
Instead of, because the more people you let in, the more difficult it's going to get.
And the thing is, with our generation, nobody can afford housing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
See, I still live on rent. You also live on rent, I believe.
Yeah.
It's put it this way. Number one, there should be priorities, okay, in any country, not just Canada, not just US. Number one, it's the war veterans, okay? during World War I, during World War II, they all died for this country. They gave their life to this country. Same in the U.S., just like they had war veterans in Vietnam, this, that. How do they get treated today? They died for the country, some lost a leg, some got psychological trauma, they came here. Guess what? The government did not take care of them, and they had to go find a job here and there. And some of them, they weren't all there, because of the war and all the hardships they went through. A lot of them ended up being in homeless shelters. Number one, that's a main priority. Everybody's got to take care of their own backyard. It's them. Then it's like second generation Canadians, third generation, fourth generation, even first generations like myself, or the newcomers like my parents or other people that came in the 90s, 2000s who worked hard. There should be an easy way. See, I talked about this with my previous guest, the one that debuted with me, with George. He's also a newcomer. He also agreed with me that everybody should work. There should be a system where it makes it easier for Canadians like you and me and people who are war veterans. Give them a house with 0% interest. Let them pay it off slowly until they can actually pay it off.
Yeah, well,
See, too many are coming, they come in with lots of money and they're buying left and right, or a lot of newcomers that are coming, government's a lot more lenient on them. They're able to afford houses more than we can.
well, let's
Go
look,
ahead,
let's look at this. Back in 1980s in Canada, minimum wage was what? Maybe $7?
No, not even. that was my days. $5 an hour.
$5.
4 or 5, yeah.
$5 an hour. Holy shit, obviously, because I'm making, at minimum wage, I'm making like 2 times, 3 times that amount.
Yeah, but
But the
compared
problem
to
is-
expenses today, right?
So, back in like the 70s when it came to housing, rent would be maybe 400 something a month.
Yeah.
You're making maybe $5 an hour. So you're paying basically about 25 to 35% of your monthly income
Yes.
towards rent. But that's also not including heating, obviously, groceries, water, all that stuff. So there's more. Nowadays, rent, me and my mother were talking, rent for other places costs fucking $2,400 a month
Oh, yeah.
for like a 2-bedroom. And then if you want to go up to like a 3-bedroom, that's $3,000 a month. If you want to go up to a 4-bedroom, even more. And that's not including heating, all that stuff.
No,
And
it's not.
It's gotten to the point where, like back in the 70s, you could work a minimum wage job and make it by.
Absolutely.
You'll be
You
fine.
could have worked at a Quickie Mart or Avondale and it would have been fine. And back then though, this is the thing with the older generation, the husband worked and the wife worked and they did it together. And in about a few years, and they put a lot of hours, they would work from 40 to 50, 60 hours a week. Eventually they would save up all the money, all the cash together, and eventually they could put a down payment on a house. And houses that time, like a townhouse or whatever, it was only $40,000, $50,000. So they were able to buy a home, or they would put a 20% down payment. They would be able to do it together. Well, today with the generation, a lot of people don't want to get married. A lot of people don't want to have kids. They don't want responsibility. A lot of kids today, they just want to live at home. They want it easy. They think they want it easy until eventually you're going to have to go on their own, right? Nowadays, men and women, they don't want to work together. I hate to say it, usually the younger generation, I want to say, they want to be entitled, or a lot of times I see a lot of young generation, or the ones in my generation too, a lot of them don't want to get married. They just want, they spend most of their money either on food or restaurants or online stuff, Amazon. See, they don't think about saving for the future.
See, that's the thing. Some like kids nowadays, like I won't act like I haven't had it easy either. Like my parents did their best to raise me, and it's worked. But compared to some of the people that I've talked to, where their parents were successful long before they were even born.
Yeah.
So like these kids are complaining like, oh, my dad didn't get me the right color Tesla. Meanwhile, I don't even own a car, dude.
Yeah.
Like I am walking
And
every
I
day.
still drive a 2010 car, exactly.
If I cannot get there, like via car or some sort of other transportation or like a ride or something, I don't go. But now these kids, like if their Tesla's broken, they can just take their dad's BMW, and if their dad's BMW isn't working, boom, $20 Uber you can just suddenly spend. I don't have that money. Who the fuck you think I am?
Yeah, exactly. I have my one cousin. He's 27 years old. Probably still didn't get a driver's license. Just on the computer, on his phone, calls out an Uber, done. And then the mom complains, "Why don't you call me so I can give you a ride? What's wrong with you? You're saying, oh, I didn't feel like calling you. I just Uber's easy." He came less than 5 minutes, and I went. He doesn't care. He lives at home for free. He doesn't care. He's spending 25 going there and 25 coming back. He still does it, and he doesn't care to get a driver's license anymore. See, when I was 15, 16, all the kids my age, I'm talking 2003, 2004 or 5, every kid was motivated. Everybody wanted to work. Everybody wanted to make money. Everybody wanted to go to school. Now, they don't really care for it anymore.
That's true. And also, you don't really, I think people seem to realize, or don't seem to realize how much we need these other jobs that people aren't willing to do. Because everybody that I know is kind of like myself. They want to, because I want to go into radio tech. My dream is to basically be someone that does kind of this for a living.
Yeah.
So obviously this is a pretty big dream that might not come true for a lot of us. And there's a lot of people that are my age that have the same dream as I do. So there aren't a lot of people my age that want to go into one of the trades. They don't want to go into construction. They don't want to go into agriculture. They don't want to go into any of that. They want to go into graphic design.
And there's a lot of demand on that, and there's good money in it if you work hard.
Yeah, there's good money. But everybody's so focused on being famous that I don't really think they seem to realize that this isn't childhood anymore. You can't dream of being an astronaut anymore, little Timmy. You gotta actually go out there and work. It's either, you wanted to be an astronaut, but now you're a stripper. There's kind of a difference between the two.
Well, when he's a stripper, he probably thinks he's like an astronaut. You can get naked in front of whoever he wants to.
And you are showing people the moon, so congratulations.
I love that.
But either way, there are people that are their heads are so far up their ass that they're not able to.
They need to get their head out of their asses.
I know even my goal and my dream is far-fetched.
Yeah,
I know it's going to take a lot of hard work if I want to get my name out there and become someone that can do something like this and make a living off of it.
Absolutely.
Because, of course, it's a difficult thing to get into because so many other people are getting into it.
It's a lot of struggle, but, this is a start for you, and, you got guaranteed here, and we'll see you more often that way, which is good. Eventually, you'll get call-ups here and there, and they'll see your resume. You've done so much, and always take an opportunity when you get a chance to express yourself, right?
Even some of the people I talked to, when I mentioned to them that I was going to be on a podcast, their thought wasn't, good, cool, awesome. What are you guys going to be talking about? They don't ask questions. I get told, why would you waste your time? And stuff like that.
It's not a waste of time.
It's not at all a waste of time. And people don't seem to realize that even though, as of right now, my name isn't out there. Nobody knows who I am. Yeah. I highly doubt anybody who's going to be watching this stream is going to come to my Instagram or something and be like, oh, this guy's up. Cool. I know I have to make my name out.
Yeah.
But whether this goes good or whether this goes bad, it's still on my resume. So in the future, when someone goes, hey, you have any experience in talking to people for hours on end? And I was like, yeah, I was on a podcast.
And you know what? You're probably going to get popular right now because I got fans from throughout the world in different countries, including Canada. It's 127,000 people follow my
Hey, hopefully so. I can't complain.
I have more than 300,000 on Instagram. I got 250,000 on my Facebook, different parts. And don't forget to let me know where I can hashtag you on this live stream.
Sure thing. Just yeah. So like I'm saying, people don't really want to get into the trades. You know, they don't want to get into, even though it's more labor.
Yeah.
It's more physically exhausting than mentally.
Yeah.
It's still very good money.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got to consider, because eventually, if they want to have a family and they want to have a future and they want to own a house one day, this, that, they got to really consider doing these things. See, even me, I have a college degree. I also, you know, I've been in music all my life. I've worked shitty jobs here and there, you know. And the thing is, people say, why would you want to waste your time? See, I like to argue that right there.
It's not a waste.
It's not a waste, because you're doing it for a great cause, and the great cause is you're following your dream. See, it's like me, I've been doing this all my life, and since 2015, I had a YouTube channel. I started performing in bars here and there, right? And then eventually I started getting high quality, high definition music videos in 2018, 19, and 20 until this day. The thing is, I'm doing it for a good cause too, because I believe I am going to get to the top one day and be in every mainstream media one day. And as of right now,
that's a great goal to have.
Absolutely. And as of right now, I got so many followers. Well, in the Armenian communities all around the world and in Armenia, I'm one of the top singers right now. And I am also, I play on a national team level for hockey. But the thing is, it's not about the money. I put out the real music. I'm the real deal. And I am straight edge too. The thing is, my aim is to do what I want to do for the rest of my life, and to, you know, like, my sole purpose is I'm following my dream. And also I'm trying to keep the Armenian culture alive too while I'm at it. And I'm trying to keep real North American music alive too, same time.
And that is a very good goal to have, and that is a very good thing to be striving for in your career.
Absolutely.
And even though, for me personally, as of right now, people will look at this, people that I know personally, or people that don't know who I am, and they'll be like, what is this kid doing? He's not doing anything. But then once if or when I start to get more popular, people won't look at me and be like, oh, this guy's just wasting his time. They're going to look at, oh, while I was sitting on my ass complaining about a guy following his dreams, he was making his dreams come true. Exactly what you're doing. You're doing a podcast, you're making music, you play hockey, you do what you love, and you're still, you do it. You
Absolutely.
manage. Because even though at first I'm sure not everyone was supporting you. I'm sure when you first started this, people were telling you were an idiot, you were wasting your time.
Oh yeah. From my own parents it started with, one person believed in me, and it was my wife, and I owe her for that.
Yeah, exactly. So, even though not everyone will believe in you at the start, you're unlike them. You're striving. You're pushing towards your goal. And there's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing better than that.
It started with 2015. Well, after all, I sang all my life. I started in the Armenian church choir. I was a deacon. I was an altar boy. But in 2015, when I started posting videos in the bars or, places I sang or with bands, and I posted it out, and the quality wasn't too good, so you don't hear the audio really well, this, that. I started with 10 subscribers in 2015.
Now look at you. How many do you have?
130.
127,000.
127. And recently I won this one, the Silver Plaque Award from YouTube, the Play Button Award, they like to call it, because I reached over 100,000 subscribers. I got awarded this. See, you see the picture there and all that, right? The thing is, as soon as I got popular, from 2015, there was my relatives saying, what are you doing? This is fucking stupid. Don't do it. Doesn't suit you. Come on, you're nobody. Who do you have? This, that. 5 years from 2015 to 2020, this is all I'm listening to. And some types of music that I do, which is the Armenian pop music that revolutionized in the 80s and the 90s, they started going, this ain't music. They're telling me, you want to be a real singer, get into the opera, get in. I listen to a bunch of crap. I've had critics, people saying stupid things. This was my response. I'm confident in what I do. If you like my music, great, you listen to it. And why are you listening to me then? You're just going in there just to give me shit or.
Hey, I mean, even if they're hating on you, that's still a view on your video.
Absolutely.
Like, you're still making money.
Even if they're hating on me and they want to go in, you know what? Go ahead, because I know what I'm all about. I know that I'm doing the real music. I'm doing the original stuff. You're listening to this garbage, and because you're just a 12-year-old kid who doesn't know any better, and your brain is easy to manipulate. That's the thing, you know. And look where I am now, and it took me almost 10 years, 9 years in this year to get to where I am. And you know what, and I'll keep going till I die this way.
The best thing about it, what I think is the best thing about it, is that these people that leave like hate speech tell you, like, they'll tell you you're not good enough. Meanwhile, you're striving to do what you gotta do. They can't keep your names out of their mouth, but you will not remember them in the future. When that silver becomes a gold, like, not remember the people that hated on you when you first came, unless they're like close to you.
Yeah.
You will not remember the hate speech. You won't remember any of that because.
Well, I do remember certain things. Well, and I'll tell you why. Because okay, it wasn't the hate speech. It wasn't you're not good enough or blah blah. That doesn't bother me because I know they're not educated. What really bothered me is a bunch of stupid kids acting like punks, and nobody listens to them. I start with Armenia, because a lot of these kids, they don't work and they get free handouts from their parents. They go on the computer, they're only 10, 12, they barely learn how to speak properly their language. Instead of saying, oh, you're not good enough, or I don't think you're good, or I don't like your type of music, that does not bother me. What bothers me is when they go in there, they start going, oh, you look like a retard, or you look like a donkey, or they start saying like
the old Call of Duty lobbies, honestly.
Or they start doing F your mother or something like that. Okay, now this is insult to injury right there. This is a slap on the face right there. Now you're really insulting me. You're not criticizing, you're insulting. You're getting personal with me this time.
What is the point in that? And I'm no Mother Teresa. When I was younger, I was an idiot. Like, I would post similar stuff to that on people's things because I had nothing better to do. I was a kid. So, but now I realize, what's the point? Like, you're literally just saying this to someone for the sake of saying it to them.
And this time you're insulting them. They're trying to see me, I'm not insulting the singers. Like I was pointing out certain songs from this to this. There's good change, there's bad change, but the thing is, I even mentioned too, in Armenian or in English, they might have a good voice, they might have good talent, they might be legendary singers, but why are you selling out to the media? How about you be a leader? How about you tell them what's good and what's not good? See, I don't sell out to the media. I couldn't give a shit if the media wants me or not. What I care about is, I want people, basically, when I go on stage and when I perform, when I sing, I'm the leader. I'm calling the shots. This is what it's about. You love me, fine. You don't, okay, hit the haze. Simple, right?
Yeah.
And I believe every artist has to be a leader, not a follower. Because there's bad followers out there.
Yeah. I mean, then again,
No, but if you disagree with a certain thing I'm saying or I'm going...
No, I don't disagree with you at all.
I'm glad. But go on.
Honestly, it just kind of disgusts me. Because the fact is that these people that are leaving hate messages, a lot of them aren't even kids. They're people around my age. They're people early 20s,
some my
late
age
20s.
And some,
they're like, they're 30 years old, still living in their mother's basement. And they're posting hate speech on like a random person.
And they probably do it out of jealousy too, because they're losers. All they do is they beat off over the camera or whatever.
Most likely.
Yeah.
And like, especially when it comes to stuff like YouTube. because you see so many people try and become successful in this business. It doesn't work for everyone.
Exactly.
Because some people just have bad luck. Some people aren't good enough. Whether it sucks to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of these people who, instead of getting like people being like, I don't really like your videos, I'm not a big fan, have a good day, you're getting people telling you like, oh, kill yourself. Like, really? Come on. Like, and they're not kids either.
They're not kids.
They're
Sometimes they're older people. They're a bunch of little kids in a grown man's body. That's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're still a bunch of kids, and they're a bunch of idiots. Nobody even pays attention to them or looks at them or waves at them, and they make themselves feel good by being a bunch of trolls on these things.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, I'll comment on something. I will not insult, but I'll say what you're doing is like, come on, it has been done better. Don't kid yourself with this.
You would never tell somebody, oh, like, fuck you, fuck your mom, etc.
No,
etc.
exactly, because this time you're getting into the personal details with them. Maybe that guy's mom passed away, or maybe that guy, he got thrown out of the house at a young age, or he's trying to make something out of himself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know his personal life. Just like every artist. See, if every artist today, those who sold to the media, if they were out in the open and honest the way I am, which they should be, because people who are praising them, I think they need to be honest.
Mm.
See, it's like one good character. See, there's been a lot of artists in the past that I've praised them all my life, but when I really found out who they are, and they're really open about it, I like them even more. But if they're always trying to act fake and pretend who they are, I start not liking them more. Because I want to hear them speak their mind.
See, and that's like, even on a personal to a business standpoint, that is completely true. I can't stand people that are fake.
Exactly, that's the word I'm looking for too.
Because the friends that I have, which I'm lucky enough to have them, they're the kind of people, they'll tell me I'm an idiot when I'm being an idiot, but they'll also tell me I'm doing good when I'm doing good. You know, they're not fake. They won't lie to me.
They will tell you the reality.
Yeah, they'll tell me what I have to hear, and sometimes it can give me a lot of confidence. Sometimes it'll humble me. Sometimes it'll make me want to jump off a bridge because they abuse the shit out of me. But it still works.
Yeah.
So if it's more just because that's how my parents taught me, especially my father. He's always told me, if you can't, like, if you're not willing to say it to somebody's face, why are you saying it? So
that was the old school way where I grew up.
Yeah.
And you know what? Your parents taught you very well. And you know what? I should award them one of my trophies for that. Honest to God.
I'm sure my mother has a #1 mug or something.
I know. But you know what? They taught you very well. And you know what? I'm proud of them for that. And I'm proud of you too, the way you open up and you speak up that way.
Yes.
I like that. Yes.
Sergio's proud of me.
Absolutely. I wouldn't say that, Earl. I like the reality. Even if you and I were total opposites, even if, let's say, I believe this is red and you think this is black, I will still appreciate you for that because you're being totally honest with me. Mm-hmm. A lot of the times, I like somebody who's complete opposite of me. I like somebody who's flat out with me most of the time.
Because you can have interesting conversations.
Exactly.
You both have different sides, different stories.
And see, I don't like people who are fake, or people who have 10 faces, and people who say one thing and they say 10 other things to 10 other people. Yeah. I don't appreciate that kind of people. And that's the same in life every day, and that's the same in media today. That's the same in the music business or in any workplace. They tell you one thing, then they start going spread rumors around you. I go, hey, I always tell people, if you're a complete asshole or you're a piece of shit, I'd rather you tell me you're an asshole or a piece of shit. I appreciate you more that way. If you're going to get me or you don't like any part of me, say it to my face, no problem. Don't go kissing my ass and then say something else behind my back. Fair statement, right?
Yeah, that is true. And I think a lot of people, for like a lot of these people that are very honest about their opinion, I think they just stopped caring at some point. I'm gonna be honest, because they like a lot of the people that I've met who have no problem calling me a douchebag if I'm being a douchebag. Like they'll do what they gotta do. That I think there was a point in a lot of their lives where they just stopped caring about what people thought.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna call you a dick, they're gonna call you a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
So I really like people like that.
So do I.
And now those are people I like to associate with.
Yeah.
Because, like I just said, they'll call me a dick if I'm being a dick.
Absolutely. And here's another thing too. And a lot of times when people shit on you, they shit on themselves. Those who shit on themselves, they just don't know any other way to express their feelings. Or maybe they need help, or maybe they need to be loved a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
See, there's people who talk to me out of jealousy too. See, they're being honest, but they're talking out of jealousy. And I'm sure there's certain individuals know who I'm talking about in everyday life. The thing is, I tell them, why are you so fucking jealous of me? You got nothing good to say. You always got shitty things to say. Here's another thing with those kind of people. If you're jealous of somebody or you're envious about somebody, now I sound like fucking Oprah Winfrey. If you're envious or jealous of somebody, say, hey, I wish I could be like you, or certain things you have I don't have, I wish I could have. I will not shit on you, I will not make fun of you for that. Just open up to me and I'll say, okay, well, these things, they take time, or these certain things, not everybody has that gift or whatever, but there's some things, maybe you're probably better at me at that, and maybe I can learn from you, right? See, those are the kind of people they'll shit on you because they're envious or they're jealous or something when you don't have. Well, guess what? You might have something else that I don't have.
See, like I was saying earlier about the hate speech that you see on YouTube videos and stuff, in years to come, the same people that were unable to keep my names out of their mouth, whether it was out of jealousy or just out of hatred or was just out of them wanting to hate me, they'll remember me. I will never know any of their names.
Absolutely. And they'll be seeing that you're somebody now.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, they come kissing your ass after it. Yeah, go on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on that.
Yeah, no problem. Don't even worry about it. Hell, if you need to tell me to shut my ass up.
No, you're good.
Yeah, but like especially in high school, I had people who hated me. Good reasons. I'm not exactly, like I said, I'm not Mother Teresa. I'm not, hell, I'm not even fucking one of the angels.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're not Jesus Christ or whatever.
So I can understand people dislike me. People will dislike me. There's going to be a lot more people that will dislike me.
I know.
So whether it could be because of my personality, it could be because of my looks, but in the future, when they're, for some reason, remembering me and wondering what I'm up to, I won't remember any of them. Because I'll be living my own life, happy as shit, or dead. Either or.
Yeah. And even if they do remember you and they try to connect with you, oh, you remember me this and now they come kissing your ass after that. That's what happens most of the time. And over the years, I've had people being shocked at things I've accomplished and where I am now. And I did it all with hard work and sweat. A lot of times I spend money on certain video clips so I can get it exposed. A lot of times it's work, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of stress, it's a lot of money. You got to do things over and over. A lot of times I've done video clips that didn't turn out right, but I changed it up, did it again, or certain songs. Like, it's more complicated than that. You'd have to be into the music and in the recording to know these things, right? Yeah. One day, hopefully, we get into a topic like that, right?
Hopefully so.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the things. So yeah, maybe we get more into the music now. I'm glad we covered a lot of ground.
We did go off topic, didn't we?
It's okay. Nothing wrong with that because people want to listen to these things.
That's true.
Here, I want to do another comparison right here. We still have time, right?
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Okay, 20 minutes, no problem. I'll get into this music stuff and I'll compare between the certain other genres of music and this, that.
Are we going to look at more Armani beats, or are you going to look at more
Armenian?
Armani.
Oh, well, what do you want to get into? Do you want to get into more English right now, or?
I'm okay with whatever. I was just asking, just because,
Well, I did.
Definitely after
Yeah.
this, I'm gonna search more of that music up.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you're gonna have to know certain artists, this, that, but you can always ask me or shoot me a text or a call, and I'll send you some videos and you can compare them both, right? See, this is the thing. I'm mostly educating our young viewers. I'm trying to get them out of that mindset. See, what they're listening today, they think it's Armenian, they're feeling, no, it's not. Like you said, it's either Latino or it's North American or
It's been whitewashed.
exactly.
Kind of the word.
A lot of times they're mixing with East Indian and Asian K-pop stuff. It does not go good with it. We are totally destroying what our ancestors and all our pioneers built for us to have today. It's like Paul Baldatlian. He created the Armenian pop music. He's actually Paul Baldatlian. He was the legend, the king that died for the music. He was the Michael Jackson of Armenian music, I like to say. Paul Baldatlian'ı մեր legend, մեր թագավորն էր հայ երաժշտության, արևմտա հայ երաժիշտ, եւ ինքը, Michael Jackson-ն էր մեր հայկական երաժշտության կարնի, որտեղ pop music-ը գներ. And when he died for all our sins when it came to Armenian music. So we can enjoy real Armenian music today. And that is why today I'm the last leftover I am. Վերջին մնացորդն եմ ասայգական երաժշտության, pop երաժշտության. In Armenia, especially a lot of these conservatory fucks, I like to call them. See, back in the 1920s or 1950s, 60s, the Soviet era, because Armenia was part of the Soviet Union before 1991, it got their independence. During the Soviet Union times, conservatory was great. Today, they turn, even our conservatory, there's people who are singing high pitch, low pitch, and all sorts, right? There's a lot of them, 90% of them, well, the conservatory, they're now into this thing called Armenian jazz. What's the root of jazz music? There's no such thing as Armenian jazz.
Isn't jazz more like African American type music? Because I thought it was made
North American. Well, African American, that's fine.
Mostly, because wasn't it like slaves and stuff that made that stuff up?
No, that's the blues.
Blues. Oh,
No,
I feel
blues.
like a racist now.
No,
Anyway.
you're good. But it's historical facts we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
Jazz was created in North America. There is no such thing as Armenian jazz. And a lot of times I got poked at with the real pop music. They call the real Armenian pop music Rabis. Rabis means rubbish in English term. But eventually it became a thing in the 2000s. Yeah, Rabis music. They kept singing the original Armenian pop music or the folk music or the revolution music. They kept calling them Rabis singers. No, they are not Rabis singers. They are folk music. They are Armenian pop music. Armenian, they call it Johovurtagan. That's what it is, Johovurtagan, which means folk music. Make kind of sense now that compared to things. They go like jazz, then they mix some of the songs with Russian estrada music, like Russian bar music back in the Soviet era with that, what do you call that thing, the organ they play,
Yeah, I think organ.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The piano and
yeah. And they do a lot of 6/8 type music. Like, come on, it does not sound legit. I keep telling them, get into legit. I've had people saying, well, why are you making differences between them? They tell me from singers. Well, idiots like that, they don't obviously understand music. They don't know the difference or whatever from what we grew up. It's like look at the revolution music that I grew up with. And this was around hundreds of years. It was during Ottoman Empire times. Armenians in the Western Armenia hemisphere, which is now Eastern Turkey, we lost 90% of our land from the Ottoman Turks. And we went through the genocide, this stuff. For 700 years, we were under their occupancy. Freedom fighters, or guys who rebelled against the government, the system, they all got killed and they started fighting back. They came up with revolution music. See, I'm going to compare the revolution music right now. During the Ottoman era stuff. See, this is what the original song is from George Tutunjian. He's a proud Armenian revolutionist and he died recently, like 5-10 years ago. This is original revolution music right here. This song is called Kini Leaks. That means pour the wine. Basically, it's about this Armenian that is a freedom fighter. They killed his family during the genocide time, and he went to Berlin, killed Talat Pasha. He shot him straight in the head because he was Talat Pasha was the leader of the Ottoman Empire. So he went to Berlin after the genocide during 1918 or 20s, something like that. And he went because they massacred over 1.5 million Armenians, and he went there and he shot him straight in the head. Basically, the guy's name was Soghomon Tehlirian. Soghomon Tehlirian, that was his name. We all end with Yans, you know.
That's not hard to pronounce at all.
Yes, try it. Soghomon Tehlirian.
I don't even know how to.
Okay, another time.
Another time,
Yeah.
you know.
But basically, it tells you the video, and you'll see the video right here. He tried to. He went there and he shot Talat Pasha straight in the head. And then when he went through courts and all that stuff, he was sentenced not guilty because he did it for a good cause. He did it to avenge, and this was 1920s we're talking about. He avenged his family, his mother, his father, that all got raped and murdered and killed, right, during the genocide times. So basically the song says, pour the wine. Basically, pour the wine, it means as in they're telling the story about him and what he did. Every second they go, Kini Leaks, pour the wine. Basically, as in toast. Basically, that's the metaphorical part. Here, I'll show you the video too, so you get a good understanding of it. This is Armenian patriotic music. You see like that story there? It's not how he goes here.
Do you realize how long it takes for us to get to the point in these old videos?
Yeah. Well, it's from a movie. Yeah, absolutely. Did you get the part where he shot him in the head and stuff?
Yeah.
The old song. You guys can fast forward a little bit. That's the guy.
Oh, okay. You just had to
Well, I probably should bring it back in.
this would be like the 80s or 90s or whatever.
Well, more like 2000s because at that time they didn't have good production. Now they have amazing production, but they don't have quality. You see how we shot them and stuff like that. Well, guy in the tears a little bit. Explain to us about
This song does not go. I'll be honest. It's
Yeah, go ahead, be honest.
this song is so upbeat to know it has such a fucked up backstory.
Well, this is the original song, but they have done slower beats to it, which is good. No, Yeah, you're right though, about the beat and whatever, but it's telling the story about the son, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but go on, tell your exact opinion. What
I
you
mean,
think. No harm done in that.
I enjoy the song. It is definitely something that
You would probably listen to.
I'd probably listen to. Yeah, it's I find it so weird because when they mix the two, that song does not go with. Considering I don't understand that language, it sounds super upbeat. But I'm sure if you know the language, you'll understand the lyrics and you'll know it's
and
not
you'll know
really
why
that.
this little film was being played and how Talak got shot from Tellurian and this and that, right?
If you were to see this without any context of what happened, like if you didn't tell me anything that happened, I would have been so confused the entire time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would have been really weird.
Well, now I'll show you what they turned this thing into. And one time, one of these drummers or guitar players, I had a backlash one time, back and forth. And there's this band called Adana Project. Adana used to be a city in Western Armenia. Before the 1915 April 24 genocide, 1.5 million that died. In 1912, 800,000 Armenians died in Adana. So now they came up with a band called Adana, and they sang the same exact song. That's our patriotic music, and it's our original. Now look at the music video, and look at this band, and tell me what you think. They did a rock version of this, and this guy, who was a band member, he was shitting on me. And I told him, you fucking asshole, you're the one who's ruining the music that I grew up loving and listening to. You're the one, look what they did to this music now. I'll put the music video to the thing. This is called Adana Project. Look at the beats to it. The same exact song that's original. See, they mixed it up, but look at the rest of the music now. See, this is where they ruined rock music, I think, too. Same exact music.
Like always, I like the beat. I like the actual guitar and stuff, but the lyrics don't go with it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, the lyrics don't go with it. Too much heavy metal stuff in there.
Like, why would you make such like a folk type of song into heavy metal? I don't understand.
Exactly. Իմ այսօրվա հյուրս սավ ինչու համար մեր հին ասկային երաժշտությունը քինիլիցը, որ Ժորժ Թութունջյանին գալարված էր եւ ապի առաջ հազարավոր տարի եկա նույն երաժշտությունը ամերիկյան heavy metal rock երաժշտությունի դարձուցեր եք. Inca Hartsutsadika. Am I right? That's what you were asking, and I was translating. Yeah, they turned it into that. They totally butchered the song. And one time I had a clash between them. And the thing is...
That must have been fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I blasted at them. And the thing is, the music, okay, that's rock music. You've heard of Serge Tankian, right?
No.
Okay, System of a Down?
Yes.
They're an Armenian band, but they played North American music, and they did it in English. And Serge Tankian, I love him to death. He sang a lot of Armenian songs. He did it in rock version, and he did it in English. That's what he became famous for. See, I don't mind if they're gonna sing North American, jazz, rock, rap, or Eurovision or Latin American, do it in their own language. Im hokasche եթե mega rock պիտի երգե, կամ pop պիտի երգե, կամ լատիներեն, կամ reggae, ասպաները կարևորը իրենց օրիջինալ լեզուի մեջ թողնի, անգլերենով, կամ իսպաներենով, կամ ֆրանսերենով ադապտով երգե, բայց հայրենը թող չի խառնեն մեր մաշտոցյան լեզուն, մեր սուրբ հայկական լեզուի մեջ, որ Hayt nabede Mernachayra Stegzeriasiga. I mean, it's a fair statement, right?
Yeah, very.
If you're gonna do Armenian music, have Armenian rhythm. If you're gonna do English, do rock, do pop, do whatever. I also sang rock music. I also did 90s and 80s music, but I did it in its own language. I did not mix through it. I did not bastardize to anything. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's almost time. Maybe we can have a closing statement right now. Thank you for all being here once again. And this is our final closing statement. We'll end it with a song and always stay tuned. Every Monday I'll have a special guest, special appearance, and we'll have many, many topics. And also feel free to leave comments on the comments down below. We would like to get feedback from all of you. If you all have any questions or anything like that. Here we're looking at it, okay. And the thing is, I hope to see you guys every Monday once again. Anyways, we'll have to close it up. We'll finish it with a song. And Tyler, once again, thank you for being here.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll have you many, many more times.
Hopefully so.
Yeah. And we'll have different topics every time. How about that?
I can't wait.
Yeah. Here, let's finish it up some nice punk rock music or something like that. Why not, right? Like Blink-182?
Love them.
I love them too. I fight on that.
And Billy Talent, Green Day, all of them. I love those bands.
And you know what? I love Blink-182. I remember back in grade 7, grade 8, school prom dances and whatever, they always played stuff.
Sadly, it wasn't the same for me. We played like Post Malone and these other rappers and stuff. Wait the camera.
See you guys again for next time. Love you all. Thank you for your support. Keep leaving comments below. Also, you guys can call us at 905-357-8444 on my WhatsApp number if you have any comments and want to engage in a conversation. See you guys till next week. Çok şafak dedesinin amin yerim şahtıyor. Miş kometler krediler ki miş karşıtlardır. Başkır amin idatıçılar yerleştik orayı inşallah edelim. Wait, I'd stay seated a bit.
Oh, stay seated.
Yeah. Because I have to turn it off, right? Yeah.